What's up guys, my name is ESO and welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about this apparent new game that Bethesda has just announced. And what might this new game be, if anything at all? So for those of you that don't know, just so we're all on the same page, at PAX West, Pete Hines, head of public relations at Bethesda, said that Bethesda were releasing a new game this year.
Going on, and we even have a game coming out this year that we haven't even told anybody about yet, so they can wait. It won't be so long. I'm not telling you.
Is it a new IP?
I'm not telling you.
We're gonna get out.
It's a good try.
But then, before you guys get excited, before anyone gets excited, he promptly went back on his word on Twitter and he posted this. I probably just had a concussion from the beating I took online and was rambling. Ignore. I'm getting mixed feelings about this response, and let me tell you guys what I think. First off, to me, Pete Hines in this interview does not look like he's confused. I mean, the man's been doing this for 20 years. You don't get confused in a minor interview. He just casually drops the announcement of a new game, and then if you look, before the interviewer has even formed a question in response, Pete's already backtracking, like, oh, they can wait, it won't be long. And then he just responds, I'm not telling you anything, to every other question until the interviewer changes the subject. To me, that just looks like somebody who said something they shouldn't have said, and then they've realized and quickly tried to recover it. I mean, he may have been rambling a bit of the truth there. There are three things I think this could be. Firstly, it could actually just be nothing. I could have wasted my time making this video. Maybe Pete really did have concussion, but I doubt that from my observations. I think there is some kind of truth in this, because you don't just randomly come out with stuff like that. Let's be honest. There's more to this than nothing at all. Secondly, Pete may have actually let slip that Bethesda have another announcement this year. But considering that all the major press events and the potential announcement opportunities for this year are pretty much over, maybe that means it must be a smaller release. Maybe it's a game that they're just publishing, or maybe it's a mobile game, or another thing it could be is Fallout 4 on the Nintendo Switch, which I've already done a video on, leaked by a Spanish retailer a week ago, and it is indeed scheduled to come out this year, before the date of publication was removed from the website. Could this be what Pete was talking about? I'll link my video about Fallout 4 on Nintendo Switch down below in the description if you guys want to know what I think it's going to be like. But then we have my third idea of what Pete may have just given away. And no, sadly, it is not The Elder Scrolls 6, guys. I wish. But my prediction is that The Elder Scrolls 6 will come out in 2023, because it is so far. It's going to be like 12 years since the old one. Jesus, am I that old? My God. Anyway, before I fall into a spiral of sadness, what Pete could have been hinting at is that there may have been a new game, a AAA game, coming out this year, but the new game was cancelled, so maybe Pete just got a little bit mixed up and his tweet was only partially true. Bear with me guys, because if we take a look at another leak submitted on 4chan before E3 took place, this leaker actually told us Bethesda's plans all the way up to 2030. Now it's very debatable whether any of this information was actually accurate. He actually said that Starfield was supposed to be released at E3 this year, but then in another post he said that it was pulled at the very last minute. I was very doubtful of this information in the first place, but we cannot ignore some of the observations that I'm going to share with you guys. If we look back at the E3 conference and what Bethesda's booth looks like and the kind of art style and branding they went to, you know, all the stars twinkling in the background during the conference, and also the shooting stars and the spaceships seen throughout their branding. I mean, you know, it kind of, and also like the conference was only like 35 minutes long and it just felt like very lacking. I mean, they just showed us trailers. There was definitely meant to be something else there, for sure. At least that's what I keep telling myself. And I think that thing was meant to be Starfield. Why else would they have done this branding? I mean, Prey's already been released, and it's not really anywhere near successful enough for Bethesda to use it as part of their E3 branding. So Starfield, I think, was meant to be announced at E3, but it just wasn't. So was Pete actually talking about Starfield, the game that was meant to come out in 2017? And for those of you that don't know, let me just fill you in about what Starfield is. According to this anonymous person on 4chan, Starfield is a sci-fi open-world RPG in typical Bethesda first-person fashion. So, I mean, you can kind of guess that by the name. I mean, Starfield sounds like it's based in space, and it's going to be sci-fi, right? And obviously it's going to be an RPG because it's made by Bethesda. But this person goes further. He says there's going to be 5 to 10 races. Most of them are apparently humanoid. And apparently it's going to be an interconnected Elder Scrolls and Fallout universe. I don't know if they're going to do that through Easter eggs and tiny details, because otherwise it sounds like an absolutely terrible, shockingly bad idea. And according to this leaker, the game has been in development since Fallout 3, or at least in the conceptual stages of development. It only went into full development after Fallout 4. And that kind of does answer us the question of what are Bethesda actually working on at the moment, because they must be working on something. So when is Starfield getting announced? It's just a matter of time. Bethesda have already logged the IP for Starfield. Let me know your thoughts on this, guys. I'm always interested to hear your opinions. But until next time, have a fantastic day, and I will see you, loyal subscribers, in the next video I make.